Hello, I'm Vera and this is Marion, and today we're here at Dr. Jörn Günther Rare Books. In fact, we're in our research library today, and we're going to talk about early printed books, because Marion is our expert on early printed books, and I have prepared some questions to ask her. And let's start with a very simple, basic question. When people first get interested in early printed books, they often come across the term incunables, and some people actually don't really know what that means. Can you explain us a little bit?
Yes, Incunables are the first printed books from the invention of printing in around the 1450s by Johannes Gutenberg up to 1500, the first 50 years. Incunable is a Latin word and means cradle, so we talk about the cradle of the art of printing.
Have you brought some examples with you that you could show us?
Yes, sure. At first we have a large fragment of the original Gutenberg Bible, the first printed book, the most important and most famous.
That everyone knows.
Yes.
Right, we have a full-length video on the Gutenberg Bible, so we're going to link this in the info box below. But you also brought another very rare incunable with you.
Yeah. And this is a very interesting book. It is a Sammelband, a collection of works bound together to one volume, and it contains 6 incunables that are very rare. They are 6 German literary works, popular books. In German we call them Volksbücher because they are in the vernacular, and they are all illustrated with woodcuts. So it contains first the Melusine, then the Griseldes, vielle. The fourth is the history of Alexander the Great, and then there is the history of the destruction of Troy, and finally there are the travels of Mandeville.
So some of the tales are also known to present-day readers, so people know about the destruction of Troy, about Alexander the Great,
Yes.
Melusine.
The Melusine has been cherished along during the centuries.
Yeah.
There are even adaptations by Goethe or in the German Romanticism, Ludwig Tieck. And it's today known as a fairy tale.
I can see that there are lots of illustrations in this book. Can you tell us a little bit more about the woodcuts?
Of course, there has been some drawer who made the compositions of the woodcuts, and then there was some woodcutter who really did the hard work of cutting into the woodblock. They are always quite entertaining.
Quite charming too.
Charming, and they are very often they are also quite expressive. So our modern eyes are a bit familiar with this kind of art because we think of German Expressionism.
Can you tell us a little bit about the rarity of this compilation? You mentioned each of those incunables is very rare, but we have them all together in one volume. Does that increase the rarity of the book?
This adds together, actually. Each of these 6 books is very, very rare. For example, of the Melusine, we know only 7 copies worldwide. Of the Mandeville, we know only 6 copies worldwide. And 6 of these books that are equally rare are bound together by one collector.
Yeah.
So this collection is unique, and each of the books is very, very rare.
So it's one of a kind. You cannot get a second copy of this
No.
exact same book.
Definitely not. It's a real treasure.
This book is more than 500 years old, but it's in amazing condition. Can you tell us a little bit how it got preserved so well? Is it because of the binding? Is it a particularly good binding?
Yes,
Do you know anything about
probably. A sturdy binding like this is it's bound in wooden blocks covered with leather, and it has this metal brass corner pieces and clasps, so you could really store. You could close it and store the book very well and carry it with you even.
Quite compact, like a portable library.
Yeah, it's 6 books in one, and you can't lose one of those books. They are all together.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much for showing us this wonderful book. And if you have questions about this book, please contact us at Dr. Jörn Günther Rare Books.